So we've been listening to you. A lot of you have been asking for more on-course stuff, more on-course tips. How do we manage our games? How do we get around the golf course? Well, today we're going to do that. We're here at beautiful Spring Creek in Harrisburg, South Dakota. Our good friends here allow us to come out. And so what we're going to do here today is we're going to play 9 holes. And we're just going to talk about the shots that come about so we can learn some things on how do we navigate ourselves around the golf course. And I'm sure eventually I'm going to hit a few shots into the trees or a couple shots into the bunker and whatnot. But we're going to start actually playing the game, because that's why you come to us here at US Golf TV and VLS Golf, is to learn how to play this game, but also how to manage our game. So let's get started right away. We're playing the back 9 to start. So I'm here on hole number 10. This is a short par 4. It's about 280 yards. And so anytime I get up on a tee box, one of the things that I'm looking for, first of all, is of course, how long is the hole? Makes sense, right? But I'm also looking at where are the hot spots? Where are the areas where I could really get myself into trouble so that I can pick out good targets and things like that? So what we've got here is a relatively short par 4, 280 yards is all, but there's definitely a lot of trees to the left. I've also got out of bounds to the left. Now, I could go with the driver, and if you feel like, hey, the driver's the club for you and it's one of your most confident clubs in your bag, I'd probably rip a driver up there and see what I get, especially if I've got a good short game. But if the driver isn't something that you're real comfortable with, then I'm just gonna simply go with a club that I can get the ball in the fairway. So I'm gonna go with my 18-degree hybrid here. Now, what I'm gonna do, and I want you to be aware of, is that when you're picking a spot on the tee box, you can tee up on the left side, you can tee up on the right side. But in general, you wanna tee up on the side closest to where the most trouble is. So, I mentioned earlier, I've got a lot of trees on the left and I've got out of bounds to the left. So I'm gonna tee up on the left side of the tee box, all right? Now by teeing up on the left side of the tee box, it allows me to kind of aim away from the out of bounds. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick out a good target here. I've got a nice big bunker down there in the right side of the fairway. So I'm gonna stand behind it. I've got my hybrid, I've got my target. Let's go ahead and hit a shot, see what we get. Okay, a little bit on the toe, but it's up in the air, it's in the fairway. Perfect. Matter of fact, even got over the bunker a little bit. So first tip right here, take a look at the hole, not only the distance, but where's the trouble. All right, if you're confident with the driver on a short one, bust it down there. But if not, go to a hybrid, easier club to hit. Let's go see what we got on the second shot. All right, okay, that ball actually flew quite a bit further than I thought it was. It got over the bunker, in the rough a little bit. But I've got some options here. So I'm gonna grab, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm always gonna grab a couple wedges. Whenever I've got a pitch shot or a chip shot, I always grab, like, I got my pitching wedge, I've got my 54, okay? And I'm gonna grab my 58 because I don't know what the lie is gonna be like. I don't know how much green I'm gonna have to work with, a lot of different things. So always grab a couple clubs when you're getting ready to hit a chip shot or a pitch shot. All right, so let's take a look at this. Couple good things I'm liking here right away. One is it's in the rough, but the lie's pretty decent. So I'm always looking at a scenario thinking to myself, okay, how far do I gotta fly the ball? How far do I want it to roll? So in this particular situation, I've got a lot of green to work with, all right? I've got a tree over here on the right, but it's not really in play. So I'm picturing a shot probably with my 54 that's gonna land 8-10 feet on the green and it's gonna roll to the back. So here we go, I'm gonna go with my 54. All right, and I'm gonna be taking it right over here at my main man, Gage, behind there. He's got the other camera going on. He's helping us out here this morning. And I'm gonna take this a little bit to the left of the target, or left of the pin. All right, so here's your lesson for this particular shot. Always bring a couple clubs with you, all right? Picture where you wanna land the ball, and let's see if we can execute the shot. Here we go. 54 degree. I'm gonna move the ball back slightly in the stance, a little bit of forward shaft lean. Okay, not my best shot, but all in all, decent. I got it over the bunker. I got the ball in the middle of the green. Hey, I got a putt for birdie. Let's go take a look at what we got facing us on this third shot. Okay, so as I'm getting up here, this pitch shot actually is looking a little better than I anticipated, right? Man, the greens are beautiful here today. Spring Creek, fabulous staff out here. These greens are, man, they look like a tabletop. So obviously, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and mark it. You should always mark your golf ball and clean it off, make sure it's not dirty. Hopefully that goes without saying. But the first thing I'm gonna do is just take an overall look at the putt, Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pace it off a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so I got about 8 feet, about 25 feet roughly. First look is always overall. Where does this green slope kind of in general? Obviously this part's rolling more back that way. We've got the last part here kind of rolling that way, so I can tell right away that this putt is slightly uphill, but towards the end, it's gonna wanna kind of pull a little bit to the right because that's where the water is gonna flow. So one of the simple things you can ask yourself when you've got a putt is, if you were to put water on the green, where would that water flow? So this is definitely a little bit uphill. And I got a hunch based on the slope here that at the end it's just gonna wanna dive a little bit to the right. So here we go. I always like to make a couple practice motions behind the ball, looking at the cup to kind of visualize. Now I'm gonna go ahead and step in. A little soft look. Okay, you're not gonna believe this, but that was the first take. Nick did not edit that. I did make that putt. That was a legitimate birdie. All right, so hopefully picked up a couple things on the first hole. Let's head to hole 11, par 3 downhill. I got some lessons to share with you right there.